So for fight camp for this one, it's business as usual, but I've got this motivation now. So, you know, having this bundle of joy, obviously to fight for, to, you know, provide for, it's that extra little spark, you know. Obviously I had it for the Daniel Pineda fight. She was only a few months old at that point. She was in hospital for the first sort of month, but yeah, she's here now in the gym watching me train. So when I'm feeling tired or a little bit down, she's spurring me on.
Does she change anything outside of the gym as well? Is there any sort of additional stress, or has she been quite good?
She's been good, mate. If I'm honest, my wife's good as gold. So she looks after her, lets me have a nap at midday, you know, so I can kind of keep the structure. Obviously, after the fight, then it's time for me to look after her a bit more and let the wife have a little break, put her feet up a little bit. So until we have another one, because we've got another one on the way. So yeah, it's a good feeling, motivating.
Obviously now you're sort of coming into that territory where you're still young in the game, right? But you are more of a veteran now. What would you say is one of the biggest? What would you say is one of the biggest differences from this camp that you're in now to maybe when you were still a young adult making your way in the game? Because I imagine it looks quite different.
So the difference now in fight camps is now that I'm getting older, I'm more experienced. So I feel like it's less about technique sometimes with me, and it's more about now being 100% the best Nathaniel Wood I can be. So that's cardio, strength and conditioning, making sure that I'm hitting as hard as I can hit, you know, making sure that my fitness is exactly where it needs to be, and making sure that these 8-week camps, I stay uninjured, healthy, eat the right food, you know, and just go into the fight 100%, because there's been a lot of fights where I've gone in there 70%, you know, or you go in there with an injury that in the back of your head you're thinking about when you're throwing shots. So now I'm trying to use my experience to my advantage, but in the same breath, I'm only 31. So I feel like now I'm in my peak, and I feel like now is the time, you know, I need to start knocking guys out and, you know, showing the UFC that I believe I'm one of the best fighters in the world.
You said that your food was one of them, and you mentioned about recovery and improving the smaller details. What are the things that you've started to prioritize more that maybe you think are neglected a bit early on in the career of not just yourself, but a lot of fighters as well?
So now that I've gone up a weight, it means that I can actually fuel like an athlete. I'm able to get protein shake, creatine, collagen, you know, I'm able to get all these things in. Whereas before, when I was at bantamweight, mate, I was lucky to have a banana after training. You know, it was so strict calorie-wise, I couldn't get the right nutrition in, I couldn't replenish properly. So obviously I still have to cut weight now, but it's a lot healthier. You know, I'm able to train and actually come away and get a decent meal, refuel, be able to train with energy. Whereas before it was all about depleting yourself. So, you know, I don't know how much weight Morgan's got to cut, but if he's doing anything like I was at bantamweight, he's not focusing on me, he's focusing on making weight. Whilst I'm training, I'm focusing on him, making sure that I go in there the best Nathaniel Wood that I can be.
So focusing about the fight, obviously, is coming up pretty quickly now. What's the sort of plan from, let's say we're 3 weeks out, what does it look like now gearing up to fight week for you?
So now it is literally stay uninjured. That's the most important thing, you know, doing little things, walking the dog, making sure I don't twist my ankle, because if you don't fight, you don't get paid. So, you know, I'm literally wrapping myself up in cotton wool, making sure that I don't go near anyone that's got a cold, you know, no one that's ill. I don't want to catch anything. I want to stay 100%. So I got things like a blood test next week, see how all my nutrients and minerals and all that sort of stuff's doing. If I'm deficient in anything, making sure I get it in, and making sure that come fight night, I am the best Nathaniel Wood I can go in there. Win, lose or draw, as long as I know I'm going in there the best possible position I can be, then I've done everything I can. And that's it, you know. I don't have a problem with losing if I lose to the better man. The problem with me is, like Mohamed Naimov, didn't go in there myself. You know, I went in there 70% and fell short. So now it's just about making sure I'm the best Nathaniel Wood I can be. If I'm honest, I don't really care about the rankings anymore, but I want to obviously fight for the belt. You know, that's the dream, fight for a world title. And the only way you're going to get there is if someone behind the keyboard says that I'm ranked higher than other guys. So yeah, I just need to go in there. Most importantly, have fun. You know, this is my job, but I also love to do it. I love to fight, so I want to go in there, have a good fight with Morgan Sharia, and show the UK crowd what I'm made of.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.